Breaking. Are you one of the seniors about to receive a $2,400 Social Security boost? This isn't clickbait. It's happening right now, and you need to know if you qualify. Listen, while millions of retirees are struggling with rising costs, a specific group of Social Security recipients is about to see a massive increase in their monthly checks. We're talking about an extra $2,400 that could be hitting your account. But here's the catch. Not everyone gets it, and the reasons why might shock you. I've spent the last 48 hours digging through Social Security Administration data, and what I discovered will blow your mind. There are three critical factors determining who gets this boost, and if you don't understand them, you could be leaving serious money on the table. We're talking about potential changes that affect COLA adjustments, delayed retirement credits, and a little-known loophole that financial advisors don't always tell you about. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly who qualifies, why this is happening now, and most importantly, what you need to do immediately to make sure you're getting every penny you deserve. Whether you're already collecting benefits or planning to retire soon, this information is absolutely crucial for your financial security. But before we dive in, smash that like button right now if you want more money-saving Social Security tips that actually work. All right, let's get straight into this because time is money. And if you're a senior citizen, or you're about to become one, understanding this $2,400 Social Security boost could literally change your financial situation for the better. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've probably seen a dozen headlines about Social Security changes, and half of them turn out to be misleading or they don't apply to you. But stick with me here, because what I'm about to share with you is based on actual data from the Social Security Administration, and it's affecting real people right now as we speak. So let's talk about where this $2,400 figure actually comes from, because understanding the source is crucial to figuring out if you're one of the lucky recipients. The first thing you need to know is that Social Security benefits aren't one-size-fits-all. Your monthly check depends on a complex formula that takes into account your lifetime earnings, the age at which you start collecting benefits, and various adjustments that happen over time. When we talk about a $2,400 boost, we're really talking about an annual increase, which breaks down to about $200 extra per month. Now, $200 might not sound life-changing at first, but when you're living on a fixed income and watching prices go up at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and everywhere else, that extra $200 can make a massive difference between just getting by and actually having some breathing room in your budget. The biggest driver of this increase comes from the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, which is the government's way of making sure Social Security benefits keep pace with inflation. Every year, the Social Security Administration looks at something called the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is a mouthful, but basically it measures how much prices have gone up for everyday goods and services. When inflation is high, the COLA adjustment is higher, and when inflation is low, the adjustment is smaller. Over the past few years, we've seen some of the highest inflation rates in decades, which means COLA adjustments have been significantly larger than what we saw in the 2010s. In fact, the recent COLA increases have been among the highest in over 40 years, and this is directly putting more money into the pockets of seniors who rely on Social Security as their primary or sole source of income. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is something that not everyone realizes. The COLA adjustment applies to your existing benefit amount, which means if you're already receiving a higher monthly payment, your dollar increase from COLA is going to be larger than someone who's receiving a smaller monthly payment. This is why some seniors are seeing much bigger boosts than others. If you delayed claiming your Social Security benefits until after your full retirement age, or if you had higher lifetime earnings that resulted in a larger base benefit, then when that COLA percentage gets applied to your monthly check, you're going to see a bigger dollar increase. It's basic math, but it creates a situation where some retirees are getting several $100s more per year, while others are getting less, even though the percentage increase is the same for everyone. Now, let's talk about delayed retirement credits, because this is one of the most powerful but underutilized strategies for maximizing your Social Security benefits, and it's directly related to why some people are seeing these substantial increases. Most people know that you can start claiming Social Security as early as age 62, but what many don't fully understand is that claiming early means you're locking in a permanently reduced benefit. Your full retirement age, depending on when you were born, is somewhere between 66 and 67. If you wait until that age to claim, you get your full benefit amount. But here's the kicker. If you wait even longer, past your full retirement age up until age 70, you earn delayed retirement credits that increase your benefit by 8% for each year you wait. That's an incredible return that's guaranteed by the federal government, and you'd be hard-pressed to find any investment that offers that kind of risk-free growth. So imagine you're someone who made the strategic decision to wait until 70 to claim your benefits. You've already built up those delayed retirement credits, which means your base monthly benefit is significantly higher than it would have been if you'd claimed at 62 or even at your full retirement. Now, when the COLA adjustment comes along and adds, let's say, a 5 or 6% increase to your benefit, that percentage is being applied to a much larger base amount. This compounding effect is what's driving these substantial dollar increases that we're talking about. A 6% COLA on a $2,000 monthly benefit gives you an extra $120 per month, but that same 6% on a $3,000 monthly benefit gives you $180 per month. Over the course of a year, that difference really adds up, and this is exactly why some seniors are seeing annual increases that approach or even exceed $2,400, while others are seeing more modest bumps. There's another factor at play here that's creating winners and losers in the Social Security system, and it has to do with something called the earnings test. If you claim Social Security before reaching your full retirement age, and you're still working and earning income above a certain threshold, the Social Security Administration will temporarily withhold some of your benefits. The threshold changes every year, but the principle remains the same. If you're earning too much while collecting early retirement benefits, you're going to have money held back. Now, the good news is that this isn't money you lose forever. Once you reach your full retirement age, Social Security recalculates your benefit to account for the months when payments were withheld, and your monthly payment gets adjusted upward. For some people, this recalculation, combined with recent COLA increases, can result in a substantial jump in their monthly check, and this might be contributing to some of the stories you're hearing about seniors suddenly getting much larger Social Security payments. Let's also address the role of taxation in all of this, because it's something that catches a lot of retirees by surprise and can significantly impact how much of that Social Security boost you actually get to keep. Depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be subject to federal income tax. The thresholds for this taxation haven't been adjusted for inflation in decades, which means more and more seniors are finding themselves paying taxes on their Social Security income, even though they never had to before. This is what some people call the Social Security tax, torpedo, and it's a real problem for middle-income retirees. So while you might be getting a $2,400 annual increase in your Social Security benefits, if that pushes you over certain income thresholds, you could end up paying a portion of that increase right back to the IRS. It's frustrating, and it's something you need to plan for, especially if you have other sources of retirement income like pensions, IRA withdrawals, or investment income. Speaking of other income sources, this brings us to an important strategic consideration that can maximize your overall retirement income. If you have substantial savings in traditional retirement accounts, like 401ks or traditional IRAs, the timing of when you take withdrawals from those accounts versus when you claim Social Security can have a huge impact on your lifetime taxes and your overall financial security. Some financial planners recommend what's called a Roth conversion ladder strategy, where you convert portions of your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA during the years between retirement and when you claim Social Security. This can help you manage your tax brackets and potentially reduce the amount of your Social Security that's subject to taxation down the road. It's a complex strategy that requires careful planning, but for the right person, it can result in having more money available throughout retirement, and it can amplify the benefit of those COLA increases we've been talking about. Now, I want to address something that's causing a lot of confusion and anxiety among seniors, and that's the long-term solvency of Social Security. You've probably heard the scary headlines about the Social Security Trust Fund running out of money, and there's some truth to those concerns, but the situation isn't quite as dire as some people make it sound. According to the most recent projections from the Social Security trustees, the combined trust funds that pay retirement and disability benefits are projected to be depleted around 2034 or 2035. But here's the crucial thing to understand. Depleted doesn't mean Social Security goes away. Even if Congress does absolutely nothing and the trust funds are exhausted, Social Security would still be able to pay about 77 to 80% of scheduled benefits from ongoing payroll tax revenue. That would obviously be a significant cut, and it would be painful for retirees who are counting on their full benefits, but it's very different from the system completely collapsing. The reality is that Social Security is such a politically important program that Congress will almost certainly take some action before we reach that point. The question is, what form that action will take. There are basically three levers that lawmakers can pull. They can raise the payroll tax rate, they can increase the maximum amount of earnings subject to the payroll tax, or they can reduce benefits in various ways, such as raising the full retirement age, adjusting the COLA formula, or means testing benefits so that higher-income retirees receive less. Each of these options has different political and economic implications, and the solution will likely involve some combination of these approaches. The important thing for you to understand is that changes to Social Security, if and when they come, will almost certainly include protections for current retirees and people who are close to retirement age. Historically, major changes to Social Security have been phased in over many years and have exempted people above a certain age. So if you're already collecting benefits, or you're within 5 or 10 years of retirement, you'll probably be largely unaffected by whatever reforms eventually get passed. This brings me to a critical point about claiming strategies and why timing matters so much. If you haven't claimed your Social Security yet, and you're trying to decide when to start, you need to think carefully about your personal situation. The conventional wisdom says that if you're in good health, if you have longevity in your family, and if you have other sources of income to live on, you should delay claiming as long as possible to maximize those delayed retirement credits. But life isn't always that simple. If you need the money now, if you have health issues that might shorten your lifespan, or if you simply want to enjoy your retirement while you're young and healthy enough to travel and do the things you love, then claiming earlier might make sense for you, even though it means a smaller monthly check. There's no one right answer for everyone, and you shouldn't let anyone make you feel bad about the decision you make for your own circumstances. What I will say is that whatever you decide, make sure you're making an informed decision based on accurate information and realistic projections. There are excellent online calculators provided by the Social Security Administration, and various financial planning websites that can help you model different claiming scenarios and see how much you'd receive at different ages. You can also create a My Social Security account on the SSA website, which gives you access to your earnings record and personalized benefit estimates. This is something everyone should do, regardless of how far away retirement might seem, because it allows you to verify that your earnings have been recorded correctly and to start planning for your financial future. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with some action steps you can take right now to make sure you're maximizing your Social Security benefits and getting every dollar you're entitled to. First, if you haven't already, go to the Social Security Administration website and create your My Social Security account. Review your earnings history to make sure everything is accurate, because mistakes can and do happen, and they can cost you money. Second, if you're approaching retirement age, run the numbers on different claiming scenarios to understand the trade-offs between claiming early, waiting until full retirement age, or delaying until 70. Third, think holistically about all your retirement income sources and how they interact with Social Security from a tax perspective. And finally, stay informed about potential changes to Social Security by following reputable news sources and policy discussions, because the decisions being made in Washington over the next few years could significantly impact your retirement security. The bottom line is that this $2,400 boost some seniors are seeing is real, and it's the result of multiple factors coming together. Higher COLA adjustments due to inflation, delayed retirement credits for those who waited to claim, and benefit recalculations for people who had earnings test withholdings. Understanding these factors puts you in a better position to maximize your own benefits and make smart decisions about your retirement. Don't leave money on the table, and don't let confusion or misinformation guide your choices. Your Social Security benefits represent decades of work and contributions, and you deserve to get every penny you've earned.